Hello, everybody, and welcome to my brand new podcast. Music to Live For with Shanti. It's me, Shanti, a Swiss musicologist and stage manager, talking with different artists and discussing different topics belonging to the music business. In this second episode, I will talk to Jesper Gün, lead singer of the Danish metalcore band Ghost Iris. I also need to send a big hug to Marco Sartori, one of my best friends in this world. But now, let's have a taste of some new metalcore. Musica maestro.
Check this out. Music to live for with Shanti.
Hello, Jasper. How you doing? Are you doing fine there?
Fine, Shanti. How are you?
Yeah, all fine, thank you. Here in Basel, sunny day, not so cold, so it's perfect.
Gray day here, and not so cold either. But it's been raining all this week, so it's boring.
It's
No
usually
shows.
Danish weather, or it is,
It's very It is an island. Copenhagen is on an island, so I guess makes sense. There's a lot of rain. So.
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, Basel had some great weather. I remember that.
Yeah, do you remember that, right?
It's it's so nice.
Yeah.
And the bridge we went to, that spot there as well.
Yeah,
That was nice. That was
yeah.
really cool.
So, my dear friend, I'll let you introduce yourself for the audience, right?
Yes. Well, I'm going to start out the classic way by saying my name is Jesper. I'm 35 years old tomorrow, actually, on November 1st. And happy Halloween. Today is the 31st of October. I sing in a band called Ghost Iris and write the lyrics as well. Ghost Iris has been around since around 2014 when we were named the Monolith. Found out that that name was not so good for when people were searching for us online,
Yes.
which nobody was in the beginning, of course, but we tested it out ourselves. Nobody knew us. But yeah, we started out there, and to give like some background to that, it's in 2011, I was about to move to Copenhagen, and Niklas, the guitar player, like the main guitar player and songwriter in the band, he knew that I was moving over here because of the internet.
Mm-hmm.
And he asked me if I wanted to start like a music project, which was the Monolith. It was named at that point. And I said, yeah, I'm moving to the same city that you live in. That's perfect. So we started that out. And well, before that, even more background. We started a band called Shaped Like Swans, which only lasted for a year because the two other members were, they wanted to do other stuff. But that band crashed as well. It was a band called Evra. It was like some southern hardcore rock and roll stuff.
Okay.
But that one stopped as well. And but Niklas and I, we kept moving, and we found later on Sebastian, our drummer, who had never been in a band before, and he had just been playing Meshuggah for 4 years in his basement on an electronic kit. So he was a machine already. So that's pretty good.
Yes, I remember. It's definitely technically, it's a monster. I mean,
Yeah,
I enjoyed watching playing.
He started out very much not like a very flashy drummer, but he's getting there though. He's a lot of hair moving around and all that, you know.
The mustache.
Niklas and I we don't have so much hair nowadays, but yeah, it's a choice, of course. But we're lazy. But yeah, so we found him, and later on we found another guitar player and a bass player, but they're gone as well. And then we found Daniel, who's now our second guitar player, and has been that since around 2-3 years. He played in a band called Scarred by Beauty before.
Yeah, I met him when he was playing here in Switzerland with that band. We organized a couple of events here in Basel, and this is why I also get in touch with Ghost Iris in the end.
Yeah, that's how we know each other. I actually forgot, but yeah, it's because of Daniel. So.
Thank you, Daniel.
Yeah, it's a small world, you know.
Yeah.
And I used to sing in a band called As We Fight as well.
And I have to stop you because I love that band. I remember
Stop me, please stop.
It was the MySpace era.
Oh yes.
And I honestly I don't remember how I get into As We Fight, but I remember those guitars, this double head singing that I really loved, and I bought all the album. I got the CD here at home. I guess when you went on my place, you saw that I got the CD. So,
But which CD do you have though?
um,
Which one is it? Do you remember?
which well, I remember I got the one with there is this guy or a woman with tattoos on.
Yeah.
I don't remember
Oh,
the title.
their two first albums have like they're kind of the same. Like the aesthetic of the artwork is kind of the same. It's black and white. A lot of like high contrast. And one of them is Lauritz, the old singer.
Yes.
Him with like you don't see his head. He's like cut
Yeah,
off.
that one. Yeah.
And he didn't have that many tattoos at that point. He has like all over now. But back then he only had some on his like lower arm and all that. And the album's name was Black Nails and Bloody Wrists.
That's it. Yeah.
Yes. I didn't sing on that one though. That one is very old now. But yeah. And then the next one was called Midnight Tornado. Tornado.
Yeah, I got that too. Yeah.
Got that one too. Yes. And then
the one with the zombies. I mean, it seems
that's the one I'm on.
Yeah,
that's the one I'm on. It's Meet Your Maker.
And that one I got a great energy. I love the song. And I remember oh, you got that album, and say, yeah, you know that I'm singing there. And for me was like boom, like I'm on tour with Ghost Iris. I love you guys. I really enjoy your personality and the energy we got, and
sure, man.
And discovering that was like,
oh, you didn't know?
No, I didn't know because I'm the kind of guy who buy a CD or enjoy the music, but it's not that I'm gonna open the booklet and remember all the names like this.
No. It's about the music. It's not the people, really. Not all.
That was so amazing because, as I said, still one of the hubs that I like to listen to, but for a period it was like the album, and it was great. But back to
it was a fun album.
Yeah. But back to Ghost Iris, do you call this? Would you like to call that a metalcore band, or like because or because there is also terms to define metal music nowadays? I told some people call you like gent metal or something like this, but metalcore is the term that you recognize better.
I mean, I think the reason why we don't really I understand why people would say that we're a gent band. I understand that because if you listen to especially our two first albums, it's like it's kind of cliche gent music. It really is, or progressive metalcore or whatever. But nowadays we really identify more as like a metalcore band because I feel like metalcore is way more wide. It's like a big umbrella you can put stuff under. Even though metalcore is already an umbrella for metal and hardcore, but it's got its own umbrella as well, where you can put like all these like post-hardcore, hardcore metal, even whatever, all that stuff. So we definitely call ourselves a metalcore band because we do have those qualities for sure. We do.
Yeah. And why Ghost Iris? I mean, you talk about Monolith and the change of different names, like it's what. Why do you felt that Ghost Iris was the right one?
To be 100% honest, completely transparent, we thought the idea started like this. Monolith, that name is out because there was Monolith magazine, the Monoliths band, a Monolith, just the word Monolith, very popularized because of the classic, was it Stanley Kubrick that made a Space Odyssey, 2001? It's called? The classic movie, right? There is that monolithic thing that the monkeys see in the chimpanzees see in the start, they see later on the moon and all that. We're like, oh, and that sounds so cool and so mysterious. This big, smooth, black thingy. But everybody else had that idea too, so everybody loved that word. It's a cool word, but yeah. So we thought, get that out. Let's try something else. And we were really the internet is big, it still is. It was big at that point as well. So it's like, we got to make sure that when people search for our name, we're like the first that comes up, like every damn time, and preferably like more of like sites of us, so that people wouldn't have to like go snooping around or like play detective online to find us. Because do you remember the band called? There was a band called A. I mean.
Yes.
The letter A.
The letter A.
Just
yeah.
The letter A. Just imagine going online to search for that. You write A, then all this literary stuff comes up about the letter A, and the band is on page 39 or something. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
And then you write a band, but then it's just a band. Then stuff just comes up about bands. So like they're impossible to find
Yes.
unless you know what to search for. That's the idea. That's what we thought back then. So we thought the classical metalcore names, like As We Fight, Heaven Shall Burn, Purified in Blood, the verb, the noun, they call it, like the three words. We thought like, that's kind of cliche. Let's do something else. What about 2 words? Yes, because 1 word is kind of hard. If you want to be called like light bulb or something, that's like 1 word. I know it's 2 words put together, but that's like 1 word. That's also very hard. Like, the SEO way, like the search engine optimization ways. So we thought 2 words, because then you can make it more specific. And it's really funny when you put like 2 words together, because it's like 2 words that have nothing to do with each other, but then you put them together. It gets this like mysterious, funny, weird. What is this? Like a shitty example, like Bubble Sky or something,
Yeah.
Bubble is not the best metal word, of course, but or Sky Piano or something.
Yes.
Something like that, right?
2 different words collide or getting together.
Colliding, but they create a whole new meaning. We thought like, we like the word ghost, and we thought we can't be named Ghost because there's already a band called Ghost, and they're pretty big, so we couldn't choose that one. So we thought, what about another word then? Okay, great. What could we have? We had like Ghost Complex, like a play on words with a God complex. We like wanted to have Ghost Complex and some other ones. But then we landed on Iris because, a ghost iris. What is that? Does ghosts even have an iris? Because they don't have eyes, do they? So that's pretty much how it came to be.
Okay. No, I want to ask, because I'm always curious to know how a band choose this name, because it's as important. And I also noticed that in classical music that there's for example, leader formation, quartet, or trios that, they choose like name and then add in trio like this, like. But then you got some formation that tried to make something new and to just try to put out a name, but still hard, You see how people try to keep, this is the traditional way. We don't want to go so far away to have the risk not to have this identity, so this respect in the ambience where we are working. But still interesting, because in the end, this is the name that goes with your sound, your images, and so I think always interesting to understand how a band get into that. And but did you always want to be the lead singer, or did you start your career into music, like playing guitar or other instruments, right?
Well, the funny thing is that no, I did not want to be a singer at all. I didn't even, once again, to give some like story and background. I got into music in this way. It's pretty funny. When I started in high school, there was this guy. I still remember his name, Asbjørn. Very Nordic name. Asbjørn. Very nice guy. He was the son of a priest, so of course he was nice. He's a very well-mannered young guy, and we hit it off. He was a nice guy. We talked about everything, and we found out that we had not that much in common, actually. We didn't like the same music at all, but we're both open, ready to talk to a new person and all that, and we're both being nice to each other, so it's perfect. But then I told him, oh yeah, fuck, I love Acylate Dying, I love Killswitch Engage, and Heaven Shall Burn, and all these, like the beginning era metalcore, the 2002 to 2008, 10, whatever. And he was like, oh, okay, I don't know what that is at all. But I played some of it for him. He's like, oh yeah. Then he didn't tell me at that point. But later on, he told me that I have these 2 friends who are on the second year of high school called Kalle and Jeppe. And he noticed that he remembered those names, Killswitch and Gaze, as Lay Dying. Where did he hear those before? He had heard them because of Kalle and Jeppe, because they liked metal as well, and they played drum and guitar, and they actually had like some music going on. What were they missing? They were missing somebody to sing.
Mhm.
So they came to me in like the lunch break out in the big open hall, and they said, "Hey, we understand that because Asbjørn told us you like Killswitch, you like As Lay Dying." Yes, I do. You want to sing in our band? I said. First, I got got all nervous. I'm like, I don't know how to sing. I don't know how to play any instrument. I don't know anything. But they're like, I still remember it so clearly what they said, like this sentence. But you can learn that.
Mhm.
I was like, well, yeah, you're right. If you want to learn something, you will learn it, of course. And then I just started coming into the rehearsal space and started like shouting. I call it shouting because it wasn't like screaming and growling. I had no idea what I was doing. But after about 3 months, I believe it was, all of a sudden it started feeling right. It didn't hurt anymore.
Yeah, it
So,
takes shape. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, so I did. And I'm not kidding. That's how I started playing music. That's how it started.
Yeah, I mean, I can
Pretty
only
random.
relate because it's almost the same thing happened to me. You got those friends that you discover, oh, do you play guitar like this, or you're into? In my case, we were into punk rock.
Yeah.
I was a kind of guy listened to a lot of American punk rock. One of the first album was been Americana from the Offsprings,
Oh,
and
it's
then
like their hit album, right? Like their
yeah,
biggest
I
album.
guess they got like it turned 20, I guess, this year or last year. So
Probably, yeah, around
yeah,
2000, I guess. Yeah,
and
that's a good one. Yeah.
I remember those melodies, and then you start it was just scratching the surface because in the end, then I go into No Use for a Name, all No Fun at All. I mean, more in the California sound, even if No Fun at All are from Sweden. If I recall
Yeah,
right,
but they
like
still have, they
melancholy
kind of
like
have that.
this, but
Yeah,
this was the sound, and it was Californian skate surf punk, and
yeah,
all of my friends were more like let's say political, like with oi punk and stuff like this. It's something that I never um, see myself into it, but it was that good idea. Oh, do you like that kind of music? Why we don't start something? Why do we don't try? And this
yeah.
is the best way, I think, because I remember my last years of high school, got some friends starting going to the music school, and there was this idea more like inspired by the movie School of Rock, like
Oh yeah,
already
yeah,
have a plan. You want to play guitar, rock guitar, so we're gonna
yeah,
start doing that. And this is definitely another way, another approach to a
yeah.
genre or to make music in general, because it seems that you already have a goal. But if you start just like oh yeah, let's try, just trying to have fun, you see that with the time, those people who start like you are still in the business or are still playing, and
Mhm.
the other not. But this kind of approach is so important because it's not just imitate something or try to have the same success or the same experience, but it's also a way to start to understand better yourself, the way you like to express. It could be singing, it could be playing, but yeah, it
Yeah,
is kind of magic, I think.
it is. It is.
It is, right?
But well, yeah, it is because, like, if I had just said back then to those two guys, like when they said the magic sentence, well, you can learn that. If I had just said, yeah, you're probably right, but no, I don't feel like I'm ready for it. Who knows? Maybe I would never have. Maybe I wouldn't talk. I wouldn't have been talking to you now.
Mhm.
So I wouldn't
Yeah,
have been playing music. Maybe you never know.
I also think that the world nowadays put people in a situation where it seems that if you want to do something or you want to try to do something, you have to be the best. Like you see video on YouTube,
Yeah, yeah.
social media, but forgetting that maybe also those person have to start from zero, with no
Everybody
knowledge
does.
and everything, and you
Yeah.
grow up with that. And even if you I want to be like a professional musician, like yeah, you have to accept that there is a certain path you have to walk to reach. But yeah, those experiences that are more natural, more spontaneous. It seems to me that talking with most people more people I can, is I notice that with the time is the winning situation. A lot of people also in classical music that now are on stage all over Europe. Um, they told me, yeah, I start like this and like that with no expectation of landing there. And this is maybe the interesting way to do that, because I don't know, music nowadays seems a lot. Yeah, it's a lot of images at the moment. I think for me, the approaching that I even noticed the difference between when I was a teenager and nowadays. It seems to me that oh yeah, before, as I said, you go to a live show with no expectation because you don't know what is the band you may listen to on as I said, I recall MySpace, stuff like this, but your friends brings you to the show and you enjoy the live band. Now you say, hey, have you heard that band? No. Oh, I sent you the video. I sent you that. And
Oh yeah.
I mean, the video, it's cool, but it also manipulates your idea. I make an example. Let's take band like Bring Me the Horizon.
Oh yeah.
It's a
They have
band
good
that,
videos though.
sorry?
They have great videos though.
Yeah, but
But they have the budget for it. They have the money.
yes, but in the end, then it happens that I watch the video and I say, I don't like the song. But then I'm
Because of the video,
on my
maybe.
phone, and then I'm listening to it with the headphones, and I say, "Oh no, I like it. Like, it's
Yeah, yeah.
catchy, or it's something that I can relate, or I
Mhm.
relax it with that, or I make me smile and everything."
Mhm.
Without thinking, oh, the band. But if you think at the band, you think at the lead singer, tattoos, the time they were really, really aggressive in their music, then now they changed totally style. But s- still, I would say like something interesting to listen to it. But yeah, the manipulation of images on what's the sound
Yeah.
is, it's incredible.
It is.
And this
Ah,
has
fat.
nothing to do with what live performances is, because this is another thing. Just thinking about somebody who is 15 like this, want to and watch is grow up with this is they're used to use YouTube or to this video to get in touch
Yeah.
with bands and genre and everything. That this is definitely another kind of approach. And
Yeah, sure.
yeah, I honestly, yeah, maybe also for the condition of nowadays, but I definitely miss this live experiences because, yeah, here in Basel, they slowly closed all the little location, so there is just few places, and there is still missing this idea. Yeah, we go out, we go there randomly, and maybe there will be a live show, and this is also something that
Yeah.
that we're still missing right there. But there's also the sometimes you discover bands that you never heard of, but you, oh yeah, I definitely love that sound because you just went randomly in one place.
Yeah.
And it's not something that somebody sent you or you just see on your desktop or something like this. So,
Yep, but sometimes you can say like, I know what you mean, like going to a live venue just randomly and hearing something. That's great. But I feel like specifically nowadays because it's technologically advanced society, I feel like a lot of times something just falls into my lap online as well. It's not always that somebody sent it to me. Like yesterday, like Spotify is a good example. Because I feel like the Spotify algorithm is very good at knowing the kind of music that you kind of like. You know what I mean? It has like, I have this function on mine where it's just like it never stops playing. If I'm done listening to an album, it just moves on to something that I didn't choose.
yeah, I use
But
the same.
you will probably like it kind of. I found a band yesterday because I was listening to 100th. Remember that band?
Yes.
They used to be like a hardcore band, and now they're like a shoegaze, they're a new wave rock kind of band. I personally, I really like it. But yeah, like a similar band called Gleamer. I've never heard about them before. They have like 70,000 monthly listeners. I just sat there listening to their album. It was great. But I didn't choose it myself. It was like me walking into like a bar or a venue, seeing something random.
Yes.
Not as fun. I have to admit, I would rather it would be old school and I could, but well, Corona times you can't really do it at all. So you have to walk into Spotify instead.
yes. Yeah. That's up.
I know what you mean. Sure.
Yeah.
The video, like you said about the videos and all that. Yeah, sometimes it's yeah, you see like the video and you're like, just close your eyes and listen to the music instead. The video is great to watch afterwards, but it's better, I think, if you listen to the music before. But a lot of stuff is promoted by video nowadays.
Yes.
It's such a visual time we live in. But I know what you mean. I've listened to plenty of music where I'm like, I don't think I like this song, but in reality, I didn't like the video. Something was annoying me in the video, maybe.
Right.
And
Yeah.
later, it's weird, right?
Yeah. Because
Humans.
then you don't focus on the message that maybe this band want to share like this, and and that's the next topic I want to talk with you is message. So when you write, how is working your writing process?
Do you mean like lyrics or the music?
Yeah, lyrics. Sorry,
lyrics. Like specifically, I write lyrics. So what do you mean, like the process? What, like how I do it, or what goes into it? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, how you do it, and then of course, what are the most inspirational topics that you like to put it, or there is something like a message, specific message that you think, oh, this fits right for the band I'm into.
Yeah. Well, there's, to me, the process is it's basic. I would say it's very simple because it's just this one. It's just my head. I'm pointing my head. You can't see that because it's a podcast. But I always say it like this. I can of course talk about all these subjects, but it's always, people have to remember that it's my view because I'm just one person, and I can only write the way that I see it. I can't write how the rest of the world sees it. So I have to. For me, it's like my lyrics are a reflection of what's going through my head at that moment. And I just sit down and I listen to music, like all different kinds of genres, and try to listen to what they are singing about. And then I'm like, that's how I get inspired sometimes. When I sit down sometimes and listen to music, it's like it's not even the lyrics always. It's funny because the sounds by themselves can like manifest into words in my head somehow. So especially like lately, I just saw this website called Stats for Spotify, which you can see like your statistics, what you listen to the most on your personal account.
Okay.
Which is pretty fun. I've never seen that before. And I found out that I haven't even listened to that much rock or metal, actually, which is pretty interesting. I've been listening to like pure like synth, the synth wave stuff, all that stuff. If you're, I don't know if you're familiar or into.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, all that stuff. So I've been listening a lot to that because I don't know why it's so much atmosphere in it, and it's more simple topics though. It's more like personal anecdotes and people singing about, a lot of it is maybe a little cliche, like love or hate story, and love and hate and all that stuff, which is not what I write about in Ghost Iris though. But once again, the lyrics are not important to me in synthwave. To me, it's the music in that one. So that inspires me and like transforms into something in my head. And like lyrically, it's like I said, it's my view on the world and how I see things and what I think is wrong with the world. Because we do play a pretty harsh, angry style of music, but also of course with some more pretty stuff. Like life is not all pissed off. There's the good side and the bad side, right?
Yeah, I mean, I can just recall the fact I saw you for a long period of life and the energy you're sharing. I mean, as you said, heavy music, sometimes heavy lyrics, but see you smiling on the stage, the energy you want to share. How the two guitar playing, moving around from left to right of the stage like this. So it's still something positive that you share, like, or you want to that the audience see and feel. And that's once again, one of the pro of being live or being on a stage, even if you're playing such kind of music. I was watching a live video of Evan Shelburne, like a live at the Wacken, like 6 or 7 years ago, and even there, I guess the song was oh wait, what's the name of the song?
Endside.
No, this one,
That's a good one. No.
the one who start like say damn die something like this, and just start like
Oh.
huge syncopate.
Yeah.
My voice for the voiceless. Voiceless
Ooh.
maybe is the title of the song. I'm not sure. I'm sorry.
Voice for the Voiceless. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's from like their old album Antigone.
Antigone. Yeah, one of my favorite album, and
That's great.
and you see the lyric, the lyrics.
Mm.
You see the energy, you see those people, but just people are just really having fun. Even Evan Chabon, it's about the band, you see smiling and everything, and so
Oh yeah.
it's good. Maybe it's also something that a lot of people don't think, because they think, oh, this is metal, this is they get a kind of reaction. Heavy, yeah, it's heavy, and but
Heavy.
This is what there are people behind that, there are persons behind that, and this is so important that you as a person can share this, but not just physically showing how you're on stage, but yeah, also with lyrics. So this is, I mean, to me, lyrics is so important in music.
Sure.
Even if they're screamed and everything, I like to go and look at the text and say, oh no, he's screaming something interesting. I mean, I know why he's screaming, and that's it. Yeah.
Oh, I agree. Especially as a vocalist, of course, I think lyrics are very important. It's where some lyrics are more like very direct, which I have respect for, a lot of respect. Like they're so like you don't have to. It's not like you don't have to read into it. Some lyrics are just like completely like an open book. It's like, oh, I know exactly what they're talking about. Where my lyrics, personally, they're more. You have to read into it, and they're not an open book. It's very a lot of metaphors and symbolisms, and like a riddle. You have to figure it out for yourself. But that's also a nice thing about art, I think. Like with a classic, like a Renaissance painting, or like whatever kind of painting. Like, what do you get out of this? Somebody might see. Who was it? Like Dee Snider from Twisted Sister. Remember that band? Like 80s, like old hair metal kind of band.
Yeah.
He had to once, because it was back in the 80s when there was this parental advisory sticker. Remember that sticker?
Yes.
The black and white sticker they had to put on. It was Al Gore's wife, I believe it was back then. It was called the PMRC, the Parents Music for Resource Center or something. And Dee Snider went into the court where everybody is sitting with like, nice blue collar and white collar and all that stuff, and ties and so forth. And he just came in his super tight, light jeans, like riding up the crack of his ass, because they were so tight, and a denim vest with like a battle vest almost. And he had the huge hair, and he had some like leftover makeup on his eye as well, because they used to dress up and all that. He says at... Tipper Gore, which is Al Gore's wife, she might read something perverse in his lyrics, whereas other people might read about references of my guitarist's throat operation, which was what the lyrics for that song, the specific song, was actually about. So you know what I mean? Like Tipper Gore, she saw like S&M and bondage in it, or like some fetish perverse stuff, but it was actually about his guitarist's throat operation.
Yes. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like a lot of metaphors and symbolism, and you can read into it and get out of it what you want. But I have great respect for the stuff that's just out there, like an open book. But I feel like there's more stuff that's very complex. I don't think it's that much that's just like right in your face and open.
Yeah, I think that we could open like we could record only a podcast just for this topic about how also this kind of music or also the message, the way to look like also they've been stigmatized, or like say, oh, they are the bad guys, or they not just because they were wearing like this, or they want to scream about being free and more open with that. You could read it definitely in a positive way, in a way that maybe a lot of people will need in their life. But no, there are some people started judging you for the way you look like, for the way for what you sing and everything, because it's not that interpreted it wrong. Maybe they also understood what your message is, but I think this is dangerous or something like this. And so yeah. But so with Ghost Iris, normally what there is like a one topics or like top three topics that you think they are really important while you're writing for the band, or do you
I
let
mean,
you inspiring? For example, okay, we are recording now the new album, so I think that those the 10 song we have ready, I think they're gonna, it's cool if there is like a fil rouge in between, or do you let yourself like, no, I let myself inspiring from different thing, so I'm open to everything.
definitely the last one. I just keep it as open as possible because I have been contemplating like writing like a concept album where it's
Hmm.
like 10 songs that are all in the same universe, and it's one theme going on there. Haven't gotten around to that yet, but I think it will happen one day in the future for sure. But it's mostly so far it's been just a lot of inspiration, like from just anecdotes from what I was thinking at that point. It's not like it's not like a red line or anything. It's quite mixed, but there is, like you say, like you asked about, like is there like a top three? For sure, there is some topics that keep coming up again and again, like like injustice in the world, and like once again how I view that injustice.
Hmm.
Like my own
Hmm.
perspective of that. And there has even been like some indirect animal rights, like like once again not in your face, but
Hmm. Hmm.
if you were really looking into it, maybe you will get that out of it. But it's very metaphoric and symbolic. But there has been some animal rights stuff in there as well. But it's also a lot about just mankind. Just how we're dealing with this planet we're living on. We're
Hmm. Hmm.
polluting like crazy, and we're. I feel like humans are not. We always say that, like for example, to make an example with humans and animals. People always say, yeah, but they're just animals. We're humans. We're so much more smart, which we are. We are way more smart. We are the smartest being that we know of in the universe so far. Ancient astronauts, what's up? Like, but like so far we are the smartest ones that we know of. And we always say like they're just animals and so forth. We can do with them whatever we want. But when you also think about the fact that we're so smart, then we're being like the shittiest custodians of this planet that you can ever be. We're supposed to be so smart. We're supposed to be like shepherds of a planet, but we're doing the exact opposite. We're shitting where we're eating. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
We're we're really not being good custodians. So that comes out sometimes in lyrics as well, in all kinds of ways, like the way we treat animals, the way we treat other people specifically as well. I don't know what it is nowadays. I feel like social media has something to do with a lot of stuff nowadays as well, because people can just you know type in something and just click enter and just watch the bomb explode. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Yes,
And it's
yes.
just text on a screen, but behind that text, behind that screen is another human being, which you might fuck with their head in some way, because
Mhm.
people are so fragile, especially younger people, teenagers and stuff. But you can just sit there and write something on your keyboard, black text on a white screen, and then all of a sudden, somewhere in the world, you've maybe started something like a ripple effect. Somebody else were having a bad day, they will have an even worse day, and then they will pass that bad day on to somebody else by the way they
Mhm. Mhm.
act.
Yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
That's
think it's pretty dangerous. I know, like some sickness
yeah,
going
yeah.
on. I also recently closed down my Facebook. I don't use Facebook anymore. I just have the Messenger. Like I remember you said you had one as well. You
Yeah,
only have
I
Messenger.
reopened it just because I thought it was important now that I want to
Yeah.
start. I mean, it's not that I want. I started my freelance career,
Mhm.
so it was easy to me to show potential customers, also to my
Yeah.
friends and people I know in the music business, what I'm doing and everything. But yeah, I noticed that I lost sometimes a lot of time looking. I will say, yeah, stupid things. Really,
Yeah.
I mean,
It's a
there's a
lot of
friend.
stuff.
You know,
It
it's
doesn't
not.
progress you as a human being. It's just random
Yeah,
shit. I know. We
you
all do it.
realize
We
after
all do it.
10 minutes that you are definitely wasting time
Yeah.
because there's not definitely point. Um, but I remember, I guess the tour we did, it was a great experience.
Hmm.
I was so happy that Daniel contacted me, and I was so happy to know you in person, the whole band, and something that I thought interesting was the fact that you are vegan. You are. This is also is not a way you eat, but it's also a way you live your life. You took also so that's
Yeah, I mean,
something that's important.
you eat plant based. That's what you eat. But when you say vegan, often there's like some other stuff behind it. It's not just food because everybody can just eat plants only if they want to. But
Yeah.
if you use, I mean, it's not like, oh, I'm so much more cool because I can call myself the 5-letter curse word, which is vegan. It's becoming kind of contrived nowadays, but it's, yeah, technically that's what I am, I guess. But I'm not better than anybody else because I am that. It's just a way of living. It's a set of morality and ethics is
Mhm.
what goes behind it. Because just because you eat a certain way doesn't make you, it's just food in the end, right?
Yeah, yeah. But I
Uh,
remember just talking to you, because I have a lot of
yeah,
friends introducing myself into the topic, and I also had my talks, and I took out some decisions in my life for that. But I definitely like the fact that, for example, with you, I had the chance just to talk face to face
yeah,
easily. And you show me there's a lot of things. I remember me and you sitting on the balcony of my place, and we're talking a little bit about that,
yeah.
and I remember having definitely learned something from that, because going back to this to the topic about how do you share this message, the fact that you can say that in one way or in another. You can be a little bit pushy, so people try to put their hand in front of them and say, wait, what you're
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
saying, I want to feel a bit disoriented because or they feel attacked, like this. But
yeah.
I definitely have so good memories, and as I said, I've learned a lot, and this is something that gave me also respect for when I listen to the band, because I know, okay, Jasper is singing. While he's singing, I remember him. I had the chance to meet him in person. We talk, and I really like the person you are. So I also feel the reflection that in the music you are doing, and I
Mhm.
think this is so amazing, and also important, because as we said in the beginning, behind everything there is a person, there is somebody, a human being, and this is something that I
Yeah.
really really enjoyed. But so do you also, so you put these topics into the music, but you also in your daily life, or do you also used to be to do some action or something like this, and
I,
in
before
Denmark?
before I before I tell you about that, I just want to say, like, when was it? Just to go just a little bit back, when we talked about, like, on your balcony. How long has that been now? That's over 2 years now, right?
Yeah.
It must have been. Yeah, it was like spring 2018,
Yes.
2.5 years ago, right? I have to say that, and like you say, like, being pushy and all that, and you remember it that way. Of course, you remember that way because that was back then. But I have to admit, like, since then, I have gone in different ways and to approach it. When I talk, if people want to talk about it, I talk to them in a different way. So I agree. Maybe I was maybe I was too pushy with you, but you're a great guy, and you don't feel offended. You can take it, but I found out that not all people can take it. You know what I mean? So I had to,
Hmm.
like, turn some knobs around to
Yes.
have a
Yes. Yes.
different approach, because it doesn't work like that. Always approach, well, it doesn't matter what it is in life, really. Like, always be nice, always approach it with love, and always remember that people are on their own path. Like, just because you have feel like, oh, I've seen the light or some shit like that, right? Then everybody else, they have to go through steps before they can see what you see as well. They can't just see it just because you tell them, like,
Hmm.
like
Hmm.
that. It takes time, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just to say that I'm definitely not pushy anymore. And people who I talk to, not so much recently because of Corona, of course. I don't talk to that many, but they will also, like, attest to the fact that I approach it in a nicer way, which is good. That's how it's supposed to be, because we're all, you know, we're all on a path, and we don't always agree, but at least we can talk about it in a nice way so people don't get hurt and don't get
Of
pissed
course, of
off
course.
and all that. But yeah, you was what did you ask? You asked something.
No, if I remember, I mean, you said that you don't use Facebook anymore, but I remember you sometimes posting you in the street of Copenhagen. I
Yeah.
suppose you're doing this kind of action where you're standing in the streets with some
Yeah.
TV monitors
Yeah.
showing some, I would say, cruel images, direct images of what
Yeah.
happened behind them. For example, the meat business and everything,
Yes.
all these the steaks you have on the plate, how it's
Yeah.
made, I mean, the reality behind that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And um and the question is, are you still into this kind of explaining to people in that way? Because I think that is also interesting, because this is also the way we are living right now. Back to the YouTube topic and everything. Like
Yeah.
you see images and everything, and maybe this is the best way to make people think twice on a topic, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I used to organizing those kind of
I
events. Of course, yeah, we are in this period right now a little bit special, but first of all, that was the question: are you still into that? But also,
yeah.
what did you think? Did what it has been a positive feedback on the people you touch with this message?
To answer the first question, recently it hasn't been that much because of this whole stuff, but there was a few times this summer where we did it, where we were wearing masks and all that. I mean, not the mask, but like the mouth mask. You know, we're
Yes.
wearing those Guy Fawkes masks. It's an organization called Anonymous for the Voiceless, which there's been some controversy with them, you know, because they're the people who started it. You know, like they're very militant the way they approach it and the way they handle stuff online and all that. But yeah, whatever. It was just a format. It was just a format, and the people who arrange it in my city, they don't call themselves that anymore. They just started their own thing, but just adopted the same format. You know, we're
Yes.
standing in the street with like blindfold, mask, whatever the hell, and showing like the essence is the screen, right? Where we show footage from all over the world, including Denmark, the best and the worst places to show how meat arrives in the supermarket and how it actually goes down, because so many people in the world and so many people want to eat so much meat. Like once you only ate meat like once a month maybe, or because first of all it's too expensive for a lot of people. Like poor people, meat is expensive. Potatoes are very cheap, right? So it used to be like very limited amount, but nowadays it's so the demand for it is so absurdly high. And China used to be a poor country, but it's like a rich country. They have a lot of economic growth, and they're also over 1 billion people, and they want to eat more meat, because the more money you get, the more meat you can afford it.
Yes.
Tastes good, of course it does. I ate meat for 29 years of my life, so I know how good it tastes. But it's the fact that it's being produced in this way that it is now. It's that's why we're showing, because we feel like everybody has a right to know, and some people actually they don't even know.
That's so important, because in the end, in between choosing then if you change or not, what you used to do, what you used to eat, it's so important to let people know what happened.
Of course,
and
everybody deserves the truth, right?
That's it, and so important, but so it seems like it's kind of so underrated a situation. If we think about some topics that seems like not easy to deal with, like we can also think about more society related, like how to explain why the black society in America right now is doing all these revolts. People think, okay, we know from the school books that there have been slavery and everything, but in between, what's happening? What's there is this kind of ignorance in general. There's a lot of things that I'm not aware of, I know, but I at the same time I understand that more than I talk to somebody and explain his own reality and everything. I just, oh, that's interesting. Like, again, I can, for example, take a personal example. I'm adopted. I was born in India, but I've been lucky enough to grow up here in Switzerland, middle of Europe, healthy
Very nice country.
country. We're not, let's say, in everything, and I'm so happy for that. But and then I had the chance while I was student to meet some Indian students, and we would talk about, hey, like, because they were interested in my life experiences, and
Yeah.
I was definitely interested to understand what was this kind of life I left behind. Let's say, I mean, I had like a second life somewhere, if you want to say like this,
Yeah.
and yeah, and then you see, yeah, we notice that the countries work like that and that, so you understand what people think there and everything, and you notice that there is this way to think of people, like, oh, this is good, this is good, this is good, because the parameter there inside is like, our life is simple and it's okay. And so, but with this thinking, this way of think, you don't know what's happened behind the door. There's a lot of things behind it you don't know. And
Yeah.
some people say that ignorance is a bliss. I don't know, but I think no, this is
Sometimes.
that's the sometimes, but the problem is that sometimes you definitely need to understand, to better understand, but you definitely need to know what's really happening right now. And I mean, for me, music is so important because it makes me smile, help me in a lot of way, and I think it's also a way, an artistic way, one of the most wonderful way to share a message.
It is.
So I think that I would, yeah, it got a lot of emotional implication, even for such topics like this. That are important. There can be also, so if you see in images, so cruel
Yeah.
and so strong. Um, but yeah, I think that's so interesting when when you can try to use those feelings. Like I remember, I guess we were here in Pratten last time we met in person.
Yeah.
You were on tour with, oh, I
Go
don't,
on.
yeah, that's it.
It was
And
set 7, it's called.
yeah, that's it.
Huge place.
Huge place, yeah, good, a
Yeah,
lot of
big
good
place.
memories there. But I remember
Yeah.
we were talking about how the way you were writing some new stuff, and you said, sometimes I take my phone and I watch some videos. I let myself charge. I saw things
Yes.
that I
Yes.
not agree with. I charge myself with this
Yeah.
energy, and I write a list or I start singing, and it helped me motivate him. And this is something so cool, I think, because I can imagine you get this energy, um, using those images, or you took those and you put it into your music, but then this music is going to be listened to from other people, and I think that's where you maybe can feel it,
Mhm.
can
Yeah.
feel, oh, is singing that and that, and for a moment they can say, yes, I agree, or yes, I feel that energy. And this is something that, uh, in our case, I think, or only music can do. Of course, you
For
can be
sure.
also a good painter, and this the paint can transmit different images, different feelings, and everything. But
Right. Yeah. Yeah. But
I don't
there
know.
is something about sound, though. There is something very special about sound. I mean, it's just especially like a good example is like when you watch a horror movie, right?
Yes.
The horror movie, if you take out the soundtrack and just watch the images, it's like not scary.
Yeah,
But when you
shining
put it
shining
back in,
without sound is
yeah,
so boring.
it's
Yes.
just like it's nice visuals, but it's not really something special. I think it's like 80%. It's like what makes you feel something. It's like the sound is 80% of it or something.
Hmm.
Yeah, like you say, to pass on a message, music is probably one of the best, like a vehicle to pass on a message. Sure, because the audio vibrations, sound vibrations, they just clicks in the human mind somehow,
Yeah,
like
that.
different vibrations, right?
Hmm. And
You say you're Indian. You're Indian, actually.
yes, yes.
Yes. So you're also like, of course, you grew up in Switzerland. So I know you're not like into like Bhakti Yogi, Ayurvedic stuff, all the Hinduist things. But in Hare Krishna, for example, they also talk about the vibrations. There are lower vibrations and higher vibrations. The
Yes.
lower vibrations are, it also in sound, but like low vibrations are like people who are hooked on drugs and like living like really down dirty lives, and my high vibration is where you just like all up in the clouds and you're like super humble and everything is just this, and you can manifest that with sound as well, I think, like with music.
Yeah, that's I can tell you about this experience. We had some students come and visiting an rehearsal with the orchestra,
Yeah.
and I said was very young, and they had no, I mean, very young teenagers, but like 3 years ago. So I mean, all trap fan and pop music. We definitely maybe it's not judgmental, but we definitely another musical culture, let's say.
Yeah. Oh,
And
for sure.
and I was sitting there, and with no expectation, because they didn't know, they know what classical music is. Sometimes it's also hard to relate the fact that some movies that you like, the soundtrack is played by an orchestra. It's not just a computer and everything.
Yeah.
I don't even remember the program, but the orchestra start playing, and after 30 minutes or like this, um, everybody was just paying so much attention and on what happened with seeing the different part of the orchestra displaying this motif, then go the flutes or the oboes and everything, all the
Yeah.
colors. But also they was so amazed of the fact how can be an orchestra so loud,
So
no
loud.
amplification and everything. So it's not just the music you hear with your ear, but you feel it on your
Feel
body in
it.
some way. And
Vibration.
I think this was the most for them the most interesting experience, because in the end I just asked, hey guys, how did you feel it? Wasn't it nice? Was something new, right? Or it's not so boring as you told, like this? And they say, no, that was really interesting experience. I mean, and it is, even there, it's not the expectation that you have that, okay, now I'm gonna go download or buy a CD with the best of Mozart or Bach, like,
Yeah.
but at the same time say, oh, this was interesting as life experience because it was something different. It was just a combination not just a combination of sounds, but also what you see, the soloist or the singer or those players, how they move and everything, and the way the movie is manipulated,
Yeah.
the way the sounds come out of the instruments. Hey, this is something that can. It's interesting how music can give also a life lesson, somebody.
Yeah.
And this go back even I can only remember my first show, and it was in the south where I come from. There was this band from Zurich. There was one of the a metalcore band from Switzerland named Cataract, and it was
Yeah, I
quite
remember.
well known. And yeah, it was, I didn't know, I was there in the grass, saw the stage, and the band came out. The sound was different because the sound live is cool. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
something that I definitely like of live band is when it's not that they're making errors, but when it sounds, that sound from the CD, but it doesn't sound exactly like on the CD or on the
Oh, it's
records.
always different. Yeah, yeah.
I
But
love
it's
that
different
because
in a better way,
but
most.
yeah, it's like it's more genuine. It's like, oh, this band,
Yeah.
they're playing like this. Um, and this was so the experience. Whoa, so loud! The music, the guys on the stage, the audience starting moshing or
Yeah.
pogo or screaming, and even last year, one of the last concert. The last metal concert I work at was like Powerwolf, this band from Germany, symphonic metal,
Yeah.
really great show. And I remember all these people just screaming and shouting and singing. It was such an amazing experience. Like it's
Yeah.
therapeutic, also not just being in
Oh,
the
yes.
audience or on the stage. It's just witness the whole thing from another perspective. Was kind of
Yeah.
was, oh, that's cool. Like
Yeah.
like so the energy comes out as from the live show was incredible. And yeah, once again, the message you try to bring with, I mean, sometimes it could be also being something simple. It don't have to be like pamphlet or something political or something like this. Could be as a good emotion or a good smile, like. But always important to share this in different ways. Yeah. So music is one of the best media, or I would say way to share an opinion. So
Yeah.
back on Ghost Iris, do you think
Yeah.
that you can share with us something about what will come, or what are you working on, or your husband to say, no, this is a secret, you need to be patient and you will hear.
The thing is, we all would love to just talk about all this stuff all the time. Yeah, something is coming, or all this stuff. But we also agree that it's better to let people be in the unknown.
Oh.
To let them be like, oh, what's gonna happen? Like, we rather just kick people's ass out of nowhere instead. So
Yes,
I can't really talk much about. But we're always writing.
Oh, that's good. I mean, this is the best
yeah.
answer. I mean, you can receive. Like,
That's
we
my
still
answer,
there.
at least.
That's it. That's it. But
even with our previous, while we were recording, not while we were recording, but right after we recorded our second album, Blind World, right after that one, and it didn't come out until like 6 months later. But in those 6 months, we were already writing Apple of Discord, our third album. We were already writing it. So probably will be something like that once again. We're always doing something. We're trying a lot of stuff out, and sometimes we scratch a lot of songs. Most of the times we write 10, or not 10, we write 20, and 10 of the best ones get chosen instead. A lot of the time. It's been like that every time, actually. So we're always working on something. But,
yeah,
I can't talk about
the last one. Apple of Discord is definitely a really good album. I really enjoyed it. Even as I said, your kind of metal, your genre of metal, it's not the way of metal I used to listen to every day, or like on my. I mean, I really learn how to like it, or like enjoying better. Maybe enjoying is the right word to use while we were on tour. Because to me, as I said, this human connection with the artist is so important to really understand the music, and then listen to this Apple Discord and say, oh yeah, this is Ghost Iris, this is your music. I can recognize your mark, let's say, the way you shape your music, and I definitely thought that it was, and after that, say, okay, now I'm definitely curious to see what's gonna come. Like, it's not just like, okay, oh, I'm hoping they're gonna release a new album soon. No, it's more like, oh yeah, this is something that I definitely need to know how it's gonna continue to be. Because I also listen to some old songs. I say, oh, that's interesting, definitely different, but still I can recall, or I can recognize the style of the band. Like, that's like, I remember waking up at your parents' house, and
in the basement,
having breakfast with your father, and he was showing me some video of the band, and say, oh yeah, that was
he
nice.
showed you video. What did he show you? I don't remember that.
Oh wait, I remember the song, the one where you are on this bicycle.
Oh yeah.
And it was
That's
so
the first
proud.
album.
Yeah, but it was nice because I already watched this video before the tour, just to know where I'm going. Like,
to know who you're dealing with.
Yeah, exactly. And so I saw the reaction. I saw the path issues in the last year, and that was so cool. And I can only imagine that what will come, it's gonna be. Honestly, I'm definitely sad that we couldn't do the tour together, at the end of September, because of my accident. But for sure, I definitely hope that in the future, let's say also near future, not to be too much.
Hopefully, yes.
That we could be on the road again, because it's been 2.5 years. Going to be one of the greatest time of my life, to be honest. I saw a lot of places. I met a lot of nice persons, and we had definitely a good time together. This is this the idea of live experiences. Also, touring is something that I can and I enjoy also when I'm on tour with orchestra or leader ensemble, because, as I said, the human experience behind the music that is played every evening, um, in my case, personal case, give me really a lot of the energy that I need for my life. Or even when sometimes when I'm, let's say, I have no problem to admit, oh, today I'm a little bit sad, or to, like, we all have those days that are a little bit down. But thinking about that moment, thinking about the people I met, uh, and the moment we shared together, that definitely something that, say, brings a smile back, and that's amazing. So
That's always good. Yeah.
yeah. So, Jasper, I thank you very much for your time, and to be part of Music to Live For with Shanti. It's something that I want to do. While I was projecting the podcast, you are on the list of the people I definitely need to talk with. So I'm glad that we found the time and we realized this episode. I don't know. Would you give us a last word in Danish, just to to say hi to the audience?
Like a sign off or what?
Yeah, I don't know, because so just shortly, I love to learn new languages, and I told to
Okay, yeah.
myself, oh,
I have one.
I would be 3 weeks on tour with this guy. I gonna learn a little bit of Danish, honestly.
Oh yeah, you already speak 500 languages, don't you?
Yeah, but the only word I remember was the one on the GPS when it say when you have to go out for. It was like a comment was like of older. So it sounds.
Or you mean like when you have to take what do you call that in English? When you have to take the next exit?
Yes.
Ja, tag næste afkørsel.
Yeah, this one.
Næste afkørsel ved O2. Or something like that, yeah.
I'm sorry, but this was
yeah.
the only words I can remember in my mind for the rest.
That's funny. You remember the GPS of all things.
Yes. So if you
Well,
want
you did drive a lot, so you, of course.
Yeah. So if you want to leave a last word in Danish for close the episode, that would be very, very nice.
I have one. It's something you can say in any language, but I'm just gonna say it in Danish because it's funny. It's just a small sentence. Alt godt kommer til den, der venter. And that means all good things comes to those who wait.
Oh, that's nice.
Peace.
Hey, thank you very much.
No problem.
Happy birthday for tomorrow.
Thank you.
Hey.
I'm going to eat a lot of food. And sleep.
For sure. And I wish you all the best. Say hi to the band from me, yeah?
I will.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Check this out.
We close this episode with a sneak peek of the latest release of the band, a song titled Made to Rust. You can find Ghost Iris on every online platforms, and they also have an online merch store. The link is in the description of the episode. Stay safe and listen to good music, my friends.
Bodies are